All I'm trying to do is sell some doll clothes, some little, cute little outfits and whatnot. Y'all shut my shit down. Like, come on now.
I know that.
Go after all them people that are selling counterfeit Gucci and shit. Don't be coming after, my doll lovable. God damn.
No,
What
that's
does doll do to you?
Yeah, y'all ain't got no love for my dolls. What's up? What is this? Come on now. Hey, community. Here's what's brewing today.
Marketdays and gays.
Tim Walz, slick mouth.
And Olympic polls. So get your cups ready for Minority Report.
Hey, welcome to Minority Report. It's Auntie Carell.
It's Auntie Dawon.
And it's Auntie Jarrell. What up, what up,
Hey.
what up, what up, what up, what up?
Hey, boos.
Hey. It feels like it's been forever. It's only been 2 weeks since we recorded, because obviously, community, you saw last week was a little shorter episode. It was kind of an evergreen episode that we had in the bank.
It was the magic of TV.
I know. I was telling, who was I telling? Brandon. He's like, "Oh, what's the episode this week?" I was like, "Oh, it's one that we recorded a while back," and I told him when we recorded it. He was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah, man." I was like, the power of TV. But yeah, because your auntie's out here in these streets, Auntie Jarrell and Carell.
Y'all was out there in them streets.
No, you really in the streets because you're in Columbia.
Girl, you took automobiles, planes, and shit to get to where you are.
Let's be clear. Y'all in the streets, I'm in Calles. Y'all in the streets.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. But you're right, though.
But you're right. You really are, though. I was like, well.
It's like, you ain't lying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. But
Yeah,
before all that trip,
streets.
though, happy birthday, boo.
Happy
Aw,
birthday.
Thank you.
One time for the
Hey.
birthday, bitch. Hey, two time for the birthday, bitch. Hey,
Three times for the birthday, bitch. I get up and bitch, your birthday, bitch. Hey, Leo
Thank
yes.
you. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I had to get through all y'all's birthdays to get to mine finally.
Girl, mine was forever ago.
Exactly.
Girl,
Exactly. I've been waiting.
mine was back in Q1. Okay?
Right.
The fiscal
Yeah,
year is
I'm
almost
like,
over at this point.
Baby, it's after 9 o'clock. You can leave that corporate speak.
Right. Hey, Q1. Hey,
Yes,
so how's it
thank
feel
you.
to be a little
Thank
older? Just a
It
little.
feels great. It honestly feels
And it looks
great.
great on you.
Thank
It
you.
does.
Thank
I
you.
know.
Yeah.
All
She do
the
got a little
movies
glow, though.
fucked
She
it
got
through.
that light right there in front of her, too.
I know that's right.
Yeah, no, I'm celebrating my birthday in Bogota, Colombia. And it's just been great. And surprisingly enough, I came down here actually because my best friend Milos and his partner, and my really good friend, his partner, we all have birthdays that are back to back practically. So Ugo's birthday is on the 9th. Milos's birthday's on the 10th, and then mine's on the 14th. And so we usually do like a big trip somewhere, around this time for our birthdays. But since Milos is working in Bogota for the year, and he's coming back in October, they both are coming back in October. This was one last hurrah. It's like, I'm never fucking coming to Bogota again. So let me make one more trip to come down here. We'll celebrate.
Never fucking coming back to Bogota.
Girl,
Well, I
never.
mean, like,
with his chest.
I mean,
Okay? Look.
well, first of all, this is my
Full
third time
chest,
coming
okay.
down here. My third time coming down here. And I mean, if you really think about it, out of all the places to go around the world, like, it has Bogota, Colombia been on your wish list?
I mean, it's better than that last list we talked about.
Well,
You're right.
So,
That Forbes list, that Forbes bucket list a few episodes ago.
right. Go with somebody like Anchorage, Alaska, and
Right.
shit like that.
Somebody auntie's restroom in Montana or something. Be like, what the fuck? Who came up with this list?
Who is this?
no.
So we babies, I've been drinking and eating. Well, y'all know because y'all been. We'll get to y'all in a minute, but I've been drinking and eating like the queen that I am for the last couple of days, and it's been great. And yesterday, although this episode comes out on Monday, but 2 days before my actual birthday, my sister, my mom, my niece, and my sister's friend surprised me by actually showing up in Bogota, Colombia. And I was just like, "What is?"
Did you cry? Because you're not the biggest crier, but did you cry?
I didn't cry,
Okay.
but I'm telling you, I was you know when people say that they're in shock? I was literally in shock the entire evening, and even as early as this morning, I was just like, I can't believe it, because my love language is quality time. It's like, and y'all know, like, we could just be sitting next to each other, not even saying anything.
Yeah,
that's what I appreciate, and the fact that they took time out of their day to come, their week, to come halfway around the goddamn globe to come and spend it with me, and I feel full.
I love that.
Yes,
I love that.
But hold on, wait a minute. Let's talk about Market Days.
It's the annual Market Days episode, community.
Can we talk about Market Days?
I mean, I feel like absolutely. I feel like some of us won more than others.
Yes. Because 1,000.
When I tell you, Auntie Henny was not outside like that. Auntie Henny was not outside like that. Okay,
she was outside, but not like that. Yeah,
no.
Right.
Right. The only night I went out was Friday. I didn't go out. I only went out Friday. I didn't go Saturday. I didn't go out Saturday night, and I flew out Sunday night. So when I tell you,
when you say go out, you mean like
I went to Boys Town. I went out in Boys Town.
Okay.
Only Friday night, and then we did sidetracks during the day after brunch. I was back at the Airbnb Saturday. At Charles. Yep, Saturday by 6 p.m. Didn't go back after that. We did brunch on Sunday. Flew out by 6:30 p.m.
But you gotta admit, Sunday was a turn up though.
But I wasn't. But it wasn't as. But not as much for me though, because I was flying, and so I didn't. I couldn't turn up because I had to leave as much as the rest of us. Yeah, so everyone else was shirts were off by the time it was time for me to go.
Baby.
And me and Fizz are the only two people with our shirts on, still in the group like this.
But hold on, shirts is very, very. What's the word I want to use?
Subjective.
Subjective, because she had a whole ass crop top on, and Fizz had like a shirt that had like holes and shit in it. So come on now, he made it sound like he wear like a fucking parka. Okay, I had your stomach all out. Okay, you had a shirt on though. Trying to sound all extra.
There was fabric. There was fabric. Right. Okay,
had a crop top with a thong on. Come on now, boo. Don't let Henny fool y'all.
All I know is y'all.
She was still outside a little bit.
Y'all look melanated and beautiful. Literally, I was just like, every single picture that I saw posted over the course of the weekend, I was just like so jealous. I was just like, oh, you guys look like you're having so much fun.
It was a lot of fun.
The weather was incredible this year.
Mm-hmm.
It really? Like Sunday was a little warmer, but like it was maybe 80 degrees Friday, Saturday. Maybe 80.
Maybe.
Like actually with at the beach breeze. On Friday, it got a little chilly at points.
That part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Saturday was probably the perfect day.
Yeah.
Like it was like spotty clouds here and there, but it was maybe 78 degrees, low humidity. Ideal, because the last few years have been so fucking hot there.
Hot and humid
for
and disgusting and sticky and all that. Yeah.
And Sunday got a little warmer, but Friday, Saturday for sure were ideal. But so Friday, I'm trying to remember the days. So I got in Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Friday was brutal. So Thursday got in that night, and it's funny now because a lot of people are starting to get in earlier now.
Mm.
And so even Thursday night, it was starting to get busier at the bars and all that stuff. And so I kept on saying, I'm like, ladies, it's Thursday. Like, hold on. A, we getting a little older now. So we can't hang like we used to hang. And if we're going to, baby, it's going to take us a month to recoup. B, it's fucking Thursday. We don't need to turn up yet. And I would say this is the first year that we kind of almost had a growth moment where I don't think any of us were really like turned up Thursday. It started to get there.
Really?
And right when it was starting to get there, we're like, oh, hold on, let's hang it up. Let's go home. And we were home by like 1 a.m. And so done with that.
That's
and so
surprising.
That was good because
that is
honey,
I
agree.
Surprising. Because Thursday could be
sometimes
like
you get excited when you haven't seen
6 o'clock in the morning kind of night.
That. And so I was like, okay, this is good. This is a good start. Wow, And then so like I know like Drell had and Fizz had like the red eye. So I was like, ooh. So they got in, they came in and took a nap and things like that. We all didn't meet up until what did we do Friday?
Like 2 at the beach. Yeah, we went to
the
Hollywood Beach.
And so Friday, the Hollywood Beach was already the turn up. Everybody it was packed already on that Friday.
It looked packed. It was just like
it was packed.
Like booties and navels.
And there was a lot of booties and navels and big ass beefy dudes.
There was some big beefy dudes. I was
some
like,
big dudes. I was like, where's the beef? Right here on the beach, ho.
girl.
The men's were out. The men's were out this year where you're like,
was anybody getting in the water? I saw a lot of speedos.
It was too cold for that. It was too cold for that.
Yeah,
it was too cold.
It looked a little overcast, actually. It looked a little overcast.
Yeah,
and it was that too.
Yeah, Friday was overcast.
That's what made it a little bit more
that's what made it a little
cooler.
chillier. Like every once in a while the sun would peek out, and it felt great. You're like, oh wow, this is great. But behind the clouds, it was a little chilly, and the water was still cold. So we kind of poked our little feet in, got the little group picture, and said, okay, let's go back up in the beach then.
Let me see if I can get some sand and some crevices.
that, or wipe down some sand off some crevices, like, hey, let me get that off. Okay. Let me just get that off you.
Okay.
Just get that off you. But yeah, so then like some of us went to the Brute party that Friday night. I know Drill and Fizz, they kind of stayed in the Boys Town area.
How was the Brute party? Was it good? How was the music?
It was. Like, I particularly like Brute because they add vocals to their music. So the DJs that they pick are more that lane than just like no words and just tribal beats all night where you zone out because everybody high as shit and all that stuff.
Right.
I want to sing along, ho.
Right.
And they mix a little more into that, especially like Dan Darlington, who owns Brute, and then another guy named Brian Kent, who kind of does a lot more of the Brute on the West Coast. But actually, I saw him there, and I actually met him randomly in PV. Didn't know who he was, and kind of became at least acquaintances with him because I've seen him now in San Diego. He was out there for Pride, and now see him in Marketdays. So like we recognize each other now. We're like, oh hey boo, da 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 da. And ran into some other folks that Corey and I met in PV too in the line for Brute. I'm like, hey. They're like, oh shit, what's up? So it's weird how small the gay community is and all that stuff, how you kind of meet across random locations in cities like that. But then Saturday was just brunch and then kind of hit the streets. And that was probably the longer day. I guess Sunday was too though. But yeah, I don't know.
What was the vibe like
Saturday?
What was the vibe like on Saturday? Because they closed down the streets. They have the the different stages with the different performers and all that kind of stuff. They've got tons of vendors that are out. People's drinking and flopping their dicks out and all that kind of shit. Like, what was the vibe like?
That's true.
I don't know. Like Saturday was a little different just because we did brunch. And then we all went over there, but some people stayed back to watch the basketball game. So half of us went out, while while the rest of us we can watch the basketball game at the gay bar, bitch. We got it on our phones, and that's exactly what we did.
And that's what we did.
But it was cool. Honestly, I didn't feel like it was super busy on Saturday, and I think that's because the weather was actually perfect on Saturday. That I think a lot of people actually went and did a beach day on Saturday
because they're probably going out Saturday night.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. And because when we did beach day on Friday, I'm assuming a lot of people who live in Chicago were like, bitch, I'm not taking off a day just to go to the beach. I can do that tomorrow. Because getting in line for places during the day on Saturday was like this. Sunday, bitch, you were waiting in line. You were waiting in line.
That's Saturday night and Sunday.
That's a totally flip-flop from previous years.
And I would say the lines on Saturday night were the longest. I say this every year. I feel like the longest I've ever seen. The sidetrack line was down past fucking Replay. So for those that know Chicago and all the bars,
are you serious?
Was down past fucking Replay. It was insane.
What?
Insane. Yeah.
Wait, so how did that work? Cross the street.
Exactly. Past 7-Eleven, all the way by that Chicago diner, right up there by Replay.
That's crazy.
Damn.
And so by that time we had kind of went in the streets and shout out to, and we're going to try to get her on the podcast, by the way. So let me back up. Our friends Conrad and Issa had during Pride.
Hey, Conrad.
Hey, right? Hey. And then had seen this DJ during Pride.
Hey, Issa.
He's like, what about me, ho?
Right, I know. It's I heard the voice in my head.
And shout out to Issa, too, for the hospitality. But shout out to Issa because I'll be posting pictures and a lot of people be like, ooh, who is that guy? So all the men be loving them some Issa in my damn pictures.
Literally, no, they're not old enough.
They were. See, don't call our friend out like that.
I'm just trying
to help the community have some hopeful wishes.
And you know, Easter gonna clown every single one of them.
Every single one, but that's okay. They can find out later. But they saw this DJ play at Pride this year and said she's like phenomenal. She's dope, blah, 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 blah. So we looked it up. We're like, oh shit, she's playing Saturday night on one of the stages at 9 p.m. So like we're out in the streets or whatever, and we're like, all we know tonight is we need to be at the stage at 9 p.m. And I am glad they brought it up. I'm glad we looked it up. She was fucking phenomenal. A black woman, I'm assuming lesbian, because I think she's part of that. That was the energy she was kind of giving that part of the community. Fucking incredible. So DJ Cashera, like community look her up. Cashera, DJ like Cashera will be literally one of your favorite DJs from here to eternity. Her mixes, her transitions, her energy, her music knowledge, this choice of music, the wide rangeness of the music, fucking phenomenal. And then we were like, oh shit, she's about to do it on Sunday at Progress. So we like got on in there like an hour and a half before she went on and claimed our little spot in the front window that we do every Sunday at Progress, and had us just turning the fuck up.
Yeah,
Sunday.
I have to co-sign because I didn't go out Saturday night. And so when I was asking girls, oh, how was Saturday night? Corral was like, bitch, you gotta do that. Yes. And I had to figure out, I was like, okay, is this Corral's excitement because of music, because he likes music to a whole other level, or is she actually this good? So I was like, I'm just gonna have to play this by ear and see what bitch, when I tell you, got my whole fucking life together at Progress. She ate the boots down. And I'm talking song after song after song after song after song after.
I just looked her up and I'm like looking at her playlist and like, oh,
phenomenal.
This
like,
is like,
literally.
This is what a DJ is supposed to sound like to me.
Thank you.
This is how a DJ do their fucking job.
Yes.
Okay. Anytime she's somewhere, I'm going.
Period. Same.
I know I'm gonna get my best life, and I know every song that follows after. I won't even know what to expect.
It was transitions you never heard. Like she went from Natasha Bedingfield staring at the blank page before you into Juvenile back that ass up. Yeah. Without skipping a beat. Somehow that shit merged so seamlessly. You're like, how the fuck did you do this? Or like Mr. Brightside to like, I forget what she did it on Sunday because she makes it differently even on Saturday when she did Mr. Brightside. It was so insane to me.
Wow.
And it just made me so excited. And I love that she was just a black woman and a black lesbian at that. And I was like, and I told her Saturday night, I screamed, like, she stopped the thing she was saying, thank you to everyone. I screamed up on that stage. I was like, Minority Report, look us up. You're coming on our podcast. And she's like, bet, look me up. Da-da-da. So, community, you will see DJ Cashera on this episode soon, hopefully, because incredible. That's all I can say. That was like that Sunday in that window with her playing was my favorite moment of the whole weekend. The whole entire weekend. Like Corey asked me, he was like, what was your favorite moment? I was like, I love our camaraderie on Sundays there. Like it's just usually the whole squad and we take over a spot and we're just living our best lives.
Oh,
but for her to have the soundtrack of it was incredible. And we had all like hyped her up so much, like even for folks that didn't see her that Saturday, everybody loved her. We were all fangirling over her. We were all taking pictures with her when she was leaving and everything because we were like, you're that good. So I hope she sees this and hears this and maybe we put this as a clip.
She gets her flowers.
She's that phenomenal.
She really is. She really is. 1,000%.
Yeah.
And she's cute.
Yes. Yeah. She's so dope. She had like the little diamonds in her teeth and everything. I was like, yes, bitch, you are dope. So I mean, what? And I sat on the plane flying back, and I was like, what is it specifically about Market Days every year that just makes it different than other festivals? Because obviously it's gay, and we have the prides and stuff like that. And I think genuinely outside of Pride, because Pride might be a little mixture of like some folks like, oh, I don't want to be here because it's not political enough, or I'm here because I only want to go to parties. I think Market Day specifically is so just for the LGBTQIA plus community, and everyone's there to like go with their friends and just have a good time. There's like that's like the goal. It's literally the joy of your friend, and so you just saw it everywhere, just groups of friends everywhere. And just the joy everyone seems to have specifically for this festival that hits a little different than even Pride. And And I mean, this is the first time. I mean, we didn't have you there, Dawon, and there was a couple other folks that we just didn't have there. But for the most part, we haven't had like this extended crew together.
Brandon was there.
In years.
I saw Josh and Mark were there. Like,
yeah.
There were so many faces that was just like it to me. Like again, I was having FOMO because I'm just like, oh damn, maybe I should have came a little bit later down here. But it was just so cool to see so many people. It was almost like pre-pandemic. Like before things got shut down and things got kind of weird. It was like that.
And you saw it in all the crews, all the other folks out there. It was very few people that were riding solo. And then if they weren't in line, so especially if we were in the window, we're like, hey, there's just a certain joy that Market Days has overall that is just so specific to that festival and maybe specific to Chicago and everything like that. And it continues to grow. And like the camaraderie and the acquaintances that we're making every year continues to grow and expand. And it's just super cool to have that. And it just made me really sit down. I'm like, I'm super grateful for the queer friends that I've made, because the amount of joy and happiness that you all bring into my life, I don't take for granted, because I know not everyone may have that, or it may not be as accessible easily, or folks don't have the funds to maybe be able to fly to a Market Days or Chicago or whatever. So super just grateful. Like that was like coming out of the weekend was just this year specifically super just gratitude, really. Gratitude. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why it's hit me different this year, but like it was dope. It was just dope.
I really hope that for anybody who's never been to Chicago, like, and who's kind of slept on Chicago because maybe they're just like, oh, I don't know. It can't be that good. It's that good. Like I feel like Chicago is a true gem out of all the cities there are in the United States. It is one of those true gems that it has something for everybody, and it's so accessible, and the people are so friendly, and there's just no other place like it, really. And especially Chicago in the summer.
Oh God, it hits different.
It's just amazing.
And shout out to our boo Shayna. We got to meet up with Shayna. Yeah. And again, we gotta apologize. Drill and I will apologize.
Officially to our sis.
We're rotten.
I know.
Because the way she was like, so are the aunties in Chicago? And did nobody say nothing?
Because this was Saturday evening, I think.
Yeah,
it was like Saturday midday for
Saturday
like 4
midday.
or 5.
Yep. And not me being like, not me. And then here Carell putting on our story right now.
Yeah, right.
I was like,
damn.
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm here.
Yeah. Like, and I. For some reason, my mind is still Bay Area Shayna, even though it's been like 5 fucking years or something like that. She's been out there. I don't know why it's still my brain that way. And I'm glad she called us out, because you're right. That was rude as hell. Rude as hell. It was just simply brain, not the heart. But luckily she was able to kind of meet us out at Progress. We're like, all right, we got to stay out at least before we like go shower or go eat or whatever. We got to make sure that we're here for Shayna. Yeah. And so we got to spend at least maybe like an hour there at Progress, kind of like turn up with her and things like that. So
we had
always
a time.
Good to see her.
We had a time.
So jealous.
Yeah.
I love her. At that
point, I left drunk. I knew I was lit at that point. By the time we left, I was like, I definitely got to go. It definitely ain't nothing good happening after this.
Right.
So,
right.
God. And I didn't eat at brunch, so I was on just a few pieces of potatoes. So
just a few pieces of potatoes. Well, you got all them cakes back there. You had the storage. The body had the storage back there. We're like, okay, we got the reserves back here, girl.
No, you sound like Dr. Now telling fat people, you've eaten enough for the next 4 years.
No. Well, the ass is fat though. Let
me tell you, I had that crop top and that thong on, so I was trying to be skinty. That's why,
again, she was damn near naked out here talking about she had clothes on. Yeah. But no, it was dope. It was dope. And again, Shayna, for those community that don't know, is from Bad Queers Podcast, so check out Bad Queers Podcast. Her sister from over there. Her and Chris do a phenomenal job on that podcast.
Love y'all.
But no, it's always good now to run to the extended fam. And Shayna, we apologize. We won't do that again.
Sure won't.
But community, I mean, the last few weeks we've had like a guest in the Brian Sims episode. You guys, seemingly enjoyed that. Because he's fine as shit. We know.
Yeah.
We know. Everybody
And shout out to the community for being like, Auntie Henny, you came through. Because I was thinking, I was like, I know my fucking community. I know they would have been mad if someone ain't said nothing about how fine that man is.
Yeah.
So look, I appreciate y'all.
We heard it all through Market Days. We didn't even say this. Shout out to the folks that knew the aunties during Market Days too.
Yes.
Shout out to Dom. Hey, Dom over at North End.
Dom. We
Lucky Horse
Dom
Show.
too.
We didn't get to see him as much as we wanted, but yeah, I mean,
wait. Dom from Texas?
Oh no. Dom, we met him at PV earlier this year, but he listens to the podcast now as well.
I wasn't.
That would have been dope if Dom from Texas was there. Damn, that would have been fire. But yeah, so shout out to them. I forget what was his name that was in line at a sidetrack. They were like, oh, the Aunteas, and he was like, oh, you taller than I thought you were. I forget his name, but anyway, shout out to him. He works at sidetrack there as well. But yeah, so no, it was dope. But over the last few weeks, what I was going to say is like there's just been a lot of stuff going on that we haven't really talked about, at least in pop culture and the news. So maybe we kind of hit some of these here. But let's see here. Oh no, I'll say that later. Okay, so
I she just had a whole moment right there in her head.
The whole brain is trying to keep up.
You see, community, this is how you know we, number one, love what we do for y'all, because we cannot wait to get on this podcast and just cut up and give y'all all the goodies. And we got all these things that are in our brains that be rushing to the front of our mouths trying to come out at the same time.
And that's exactly what just happened right there. Let's talk about Tim Walz. Kamala Harris has picked her VP nominee.
Yeah.
And do you guys agree with it? Do you think it was the right pick? Do you like the pick? What do you think he adds to the campaign?
So I know of Tim Walz just because from being from Minnesota, and I believe I voted for him in his first term, just as if I was leaving Minnesota. And so the things that I've gotten to hear from him have been positive. Now, there were some things that I didn't agree with. Although I kind of do agree with it. Then I think about it because I was that person telling them rat him out. Like he had created this whole hotline to be able to snitch on your neighbors that were not, they're outside in the street during COVID.
Oh, okay.
So I was very much that person when the PV gays were out there being like, expose them. So I know how that could rub some people the wrong way because, snitches. Yeah. But I digress. I think he's done a great job for Minnesota. Given with everything that has happened in Minnesota between the death of George Floyd that happened during the height of the pandemic as well too, and navigating both of those things at the same time, and then also making space for the Black community as well too within Minnesota as well, and actually taking action to work on police reform and education. And he's helped the kids too. He passed like some bill that made sure that every kid at a public school can have lunch for free.
Yeah.
For free. Immediately after,
like Trey.
And the women, because here's the thing, immediately after, he was the first state to pass abortion rights like for women in the state of Minnesota. So like now, like there is no issue. They don't care what they said here or there in Minnesota. It's their fucking choice. Right. Yeah. So he has been about action, but I also love how he delivers. He knows how to deliver the punch, but save you at the same time by also being, like correct at the same time.
Yeah.
I could listen to that man all day.
He got a little petty in him. I like it.
He really do. He said if he get off the couch, come see me. I'll be waiting for you at the door.
I'm not gonna lie. First of all, I don't know much about Tim Walz. I didn't know much about him, and I really don't. I haven't really investigated his his background or whatever. But I trust that the team that made this selection and whatnot have done all the vetting and all that kind of fun stuff. I was a little bit surprised because I was thinking it was going to be a name that we all knew, right? The name that had been out in these streets, like Pete or etc. So
Shapiro.
So I was a little bit surprised, but I'm not gonna lie, Tim and Kamala give me like they go together vibes. They, to me, like if I think about like their politics aside, just personality wise, they give me like cool auntie and uncle that let you drink beer when you like 13 when you go over their house. Like they're the cool ones that go on backpacking trips and they bring you back like, you know, little weird things or whatever from like their little adventures. And you know, they be talking about ayahuasca and all that. Like just like they just give me just cool like auntie and uncle vibes. Like they go together. And I to your point, Carell, I mean, from what I've seen since he's been on the campaign trail, Tim's slick. He got a slick mouth. He got a slick mouth, and I am here for it because slick when I think about on the far right side and what they're going up against and how reckless the language has been coming out of those people's mouths. I'm ready to see some fireworks. I'm ready for it. And Tim showed up ready. He said, I got the matches.
He said out the gate.
He said, I got the matches, I got the gloves. I done bought the little fire snaps that you throw on the ground and go, you know, like Duke is coming ready. So I'm excited to see what this is gonna look like. What do you think?
And I like Jarrell, you said, it's factual. It's factual all the way up to the zinger. And you know, and so that's what's missing on the other side. They just making shit up as they go, and they want to be rude as shit. It's like, no, you ain't about to talk about me that way. Guess what? I'm gonna throw some facts at you, and then throw a little petty jab at you. And he's doing things that Kamala can't do right now.
Right? Yes.
She can't do the pettiness right now.
Yes.
Because then that's just gonna put everything into turmoil.
Although she had the auntie moment, but she had that auntie moment. When I saw that moment, I was like,
even I got quiet. Did I clean my room?
Exactly.
Say it to my face. Say it to my face. You got something to say? Say it to my face. I'm ready. I'm ready for this.
And then even shut down. And I know a lot of people are kind of mad that it was the Palestinian rally chant that she shut down. So that they're kind of trying to come at that point. And I get torn in my brain sometimes because I am one that there's a time and place for everything. And so I get that you want to show up and do the chant and kind of be like, this is what we care for. This is what we need to talk about. So I'm kind of on that side. But then on the flip side, too, is like there's other shit that we need to also make sure that we get done as well. And so that's why she was shutting it down. It's like, I hear you. However, what you're not going to do is do it the entire time that I'm speaking.
Yes.
So if you want me to care about what you're talking about, there's a time and place and protocol for that. Or chant for 5 minutes, shut it down for a second so we can get the rest of it done too, because there's other things out there that also need to get done. So there's got to be an and situation on this. And sometimes I feel like when we care deeply about what we care about, it's hard for us to see the other stuff that's also out there that needs to be talked about. So I know people are like, man, she don't care about Palestine. No, that's not why she shut it down. And you know that's not why she shut it down.
You just being mad to just be mad at this point. And you talking to 3 gay black men in America, bitch. Don't talk to us about being fucking tired. Okay. So if we gotta make space for everybody else, you gonna make space for everybody else,
right?
That's all I got to say.
Move, bitch.
Like there's a list.
Don't jump, bitch.
There's a list. So,
but no, I think Tim's was a brilliant choice. Tim was a brilliant choice. Because not a lot of people knew what he stood for or who he really was. Because I think what was going to happen with Shapiro was the one thing that was going to go against him was a lot of the Israel-Palestine stuff. That was like his maybe con in the situation, and there's a big con in this political landscape currently. So I think that's what it probably came down to, is just like, they're going to try to lock us into this and be only one vantage point of it, and that's going to be hard to do, especially with only like 2 months and change left, you know? So to have someone that looks like your next door neighbor, that talks just like your next door neighbor, that has gotten a lot of shit done in his 2 terms, and it's got that little petty, I think it's a good combination, quite frankly.
But you know what's also crazy? He looks like them.
Yeah, 1,000%.
That's a good observation.
Yeah, literally. I think it's a brilliant choice, because you're like, damn, that nigga look like
like he could be playing for the other team.
Got the guns down the street. And it's funny, he only like 4 months older than Kamala, but they look like 30 years apart.
Baby.
Girl, when I saw that, I literally ran to Google. I said, what? I know you lying.
Right.
And someone said the moral of the story is don't teach high school. And I was like,
that's a word.
That part.
That's
fair
a
enough.
word.
That part. It's bad enough going
word.
through it, goddamn.
But oh Lord. But yeah, no, so it's exciting, and I feel like it's kept the momentum up. It didn't distract from the momentum. So yeah, so community. I mean, the key is bring a friend, bring your family member, bring the hard-headed baby daddy, bring everybody to the polls. Make sure you register to vote, because we're already starting to see, similar to last election, how they're purging voter registration. Because if you didn't vote the last time, or you didn't vote in the last 3 years or something, they're starting to find reasons to purge you. Say, oh, they just don't vote enough, so we could just purge them. So double, triple, quadruple check your registration, because they're doing the dirty game again. And you don't want to show up the day of, or to show up to get your absentee or whatever, and you're not registered and it's too late. So we still got a little time. We in August. But we get into these last few days and weeks, double, triple check and bring a friend and things to the polls, because we're going to need everyone to show up, especially in these battleground states. If you're a listener in like the Pennsylvanias, the Georgias, the Nevadas, the Arizonas, the Wisconsins, the Michigans, bring your friend, your baby daddy, call in sick that day to work if you need to. Do what you got to do to get there, or go in a little late. Hopefully they understand. We know employers sometimes make it a little difficult, but this is an election that is super critical for the rest of our lives and the generations thereafter. So, but let's see what else is gonna happen. The Olympics done wrapped up. We done seen a lot of the gays on the gays on fell in love with quite a few Olympians and their packages.
Ma'am, okay, cause Mr. Jules Boyard, hey boo, hey, let me tell you. That's a beautiful man, and he competed in my sport too. So I was like, maybe I should get out of retirement. I should start diving again, baby.
You just want to dive to see, be in that locker room. That's what you want to dive for.
Because if they built like this, I was like, you back in the day, you were a lot more on the thin side as divers. Yeah, the men's these days, them quads,
got ass,
jack, layer, from Great Britain.
Yeah,
the way that you see them guys, they just squash a watermelon. Oof. Girl, just.
Oof. And I was trying to check out for the butt bayang, like Dawon be saying. I was like, ooh, does he got a little butt bayang? And I saw a couple butt bayangs at Marketdays, and I gotta agree with Dawon's description. That's hot.
I love it. Nothing gets me going. I was literally talking about that before the episode dropped. I was talking about that with Zay and Cheeto. I was talking about that with them because we're always sending those little butt pics, not of each other, but like, of like on the internet and stuff to each other. And it's like the same ones, but give me some little booty bangs. Booty bangs.
We had recorded that episode a little while ago, and I forgot that he said that shit. So to re-listen to that shit, we laughing right along with y'all at our dumb selves. But yeah, no, I was looking for all the booty bangs, and then an old boy who done pole vaulted with his pole. Like, if that were you, would you take it as a compliment that the whole world is sharing your dick like that? Or would you get to a point where this is embarrassing, this is too much, like, just leave me alone?
Well, I mean, let's be honest. You ain't got no choice because the internet gonna do what the internet gonna do.
Right.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
Not even Victoria Monet reposted of him pole dick in the poll. I was like, I cannot.
And he got offered $250,000 from a porn company to do it, like, to go on and just show his dick. Yeah. And, like, stroke it off and be done with it.
Yeah.
Would y'all take that offer?
Nah, not
take that $250K. You need a little more.
$250K. I'm gonna need more than that.
Even though you a starving Olympian,
honey, because the amount of endorsements that he's about to get on all other things like that. Oh, I'm keeping that shit to myself. Actually, at this point, ain't nobody seeing my dick anytime soon.
Yeah, get that OnlyFans in about 10 years when all the stuff now wears off. You got the long term. You right. You're right. Remember,
thinking long term.
remember 10 years ago? That's what you saw.
I was thinking long term. All right.
Now you're right.
I'm done.
She's here all week, folks. But it kind of brings up the question too again, and we brought this up other times that like videos have leaked and things like that. We talk about how we objectify women and shit like that, but we damn sure be objectifying men and be having a field day and keep looking like.
Well, look, he responded. He was like, it was quite the big problem or something like that. And I was like,
God. So he playing right in with it. I know that's right. Might as well.
Look,
Right.
I say what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So like, let's not discriminate. If we're gonna objectify everybody.
But look, and I'm also gonna be fair. The amount of viewerships for poll voting skyrocketed. Like track and field all of a sudden became even more.
Baby, you're right, because we already been looking at the dudes when they running. So we're like, oh wait, there's other events. Well, I don't miss all these other events.
There's a whole event with polls?
Baby, multiple of them. Several.
Speaking of spectacles, can we talk about the breakdancing competition?
And why did she get off the plane in Australia today and got a video going viral of her dancing some more? And saying, "Ooh, this is a little better." No, it ain't, ho. That shit is garbage. But it makes some good internet content, though.
Who was that chick in the 90s? The Dana that was teaching people how to hip hop dance. Why do I feel like?
Yes.
Why do I feel like they're cousins? They part of the same
That's her
family
mama.
tree.
That's her mama.
They related.
You're right.
Dina, whatever her name was.
Hold on. We might need to put that out there. We might need to put a little meme together.
Oh, that's too funny.
Because I mean, they're both wearing like tracksuits.
Yeah. And
They
she
both
had the
had
nerve to be
similar
like
moves.
posing like this, like I was like, this bitch.
She said, "Hip hop is like this." Wait, like this.
All I know is if that's what they sent from Australia, we know ain't no niggas over there.
Yo,
honey,
baby, that's the tea. That's the tea,
baby.
You're right. The amount of people I saw with a do-rag, I'm like, y'all hoes. Hey, your texture, your hair ain't like ours. Your shit gonna be frizzy as shit as you
like
take
that
that shit
Asian
off.
guy that came on. What was his name? His name was Nika or something like that. And I was like,
they said this nigga.
I was like, no.
Oh my god. The internet is so amazing.
I feel like the Olympics really gave this year. Like even from like
did.
with like Snoop
really
Dogg,
did.
with Snoop Dogg, like and
oh my God, Martha Stewart. Bitch, when they were just up in there,
yeah.
I said, bitch.
And Martha was having them. She was shaming the shit out of Snoop. I was like, Martha, why you shame Snoop like this?
But you know, they've been like lock and step for like the last I don't know, like 10 years.
Like,
so it was cool to like see. It was cool to see like, you know, they stand on their own level of authenticity, but their unique perspectives just seem to work really well together, and it was a pleasure to watch.
That's how you know you can make it anywhere in America, because you got Snoop who went to trial for murder, and now he's like Snoop Dogg, like everybody's favorite like granddad at this point. Right. And then you got Martha, who is a convicted felon, still killing the game, and they besties. Like besties. What the fuck is this? Where the fuck are we at?
I love it.
Yeah, no, you absolutely right.
Snoop was the winner of the Olympics. Snoop was the winner, and the amount of bank he was making.
Yes. And then to get on a plane and be back in LA to do like the welcoming, the passing of the torch from Paris to LA too, and to perform on stage. I said, you know what? Yeah. He's the true winner.
He's the true winner.
The only other thing that I would have wished would have happened was that Leslie Jones could have been part of the commentator crew, because she is so fucking hilarious on her
Yeah.
own, just from her own TV, and she would be so amazing to be on, to have that kind of a platform. And I just I don't understand how
have her kind of similar to how they do during like
companies are not like clamoring,
they sometimes
throwing
like
contracts
NBA
at her to get her
and
started.
NFL, they'll have like the second like ESPN2 or something have like Eli and Peyton like call the game. So the normal sportscasters, they need to have like either on stream or something like that, have Leslie do the live reaction. Because I know not everybody's gonna want that, her screaming the whole time. But for me,
I would.
Look, I would. And I think they would make bank on that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, the memeable moments that you would get out of just her commentary. Come on now.
Because she's saying what we're already screaming at the TV.
Yeah, but I will say they have like the Olympics afterwards with Keenan and Kevin Hart, which is actually that was actually pretty fucking funny too. I ain't gonna lie. I did, and literally it's niggas talking about the Olympics as we would talk about the Olympics. It really is.
Oh damn, I should have caught that.
It really is. But I agree though. I want something live with her.
Yes.
Live with her. Yeah,
let's put it out there.
And she got her commercials this
live
year
with the aunties. Hold on, we need some live with the aunties. That's what we really need.
We could be in LA.
Who out there's listening to? We got LA in 4 years. How we figure this shit out? Let's figure this shit out, community. Help your aunties figure this shit out.
Put this out there in the universe.
That's what we need to do. And by the way, I'm putting this out in the universe too because there's somebody that we saw in Marketdays that was talking about stuff maybe that we could do for the LA Olympics that we'll fill you in on, Dawon. That I'm going to be pressuring him to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me
but yeah, no, Leslie, Snoop. So quickly, track and field. Who are the winners there that you're like, oh, they came out of it? Besides Gabby, who won 3.
Sha'Carri.
And was doing the 1, the 2, and the 4.
Sha'Carri.
You know, she was about to outrun old girl from St. Lucia. That girl was on a mission in the 100.
She really was.
So I wouldn't even be mad at that race.
That was good TV.
Yeah.
That was good TV. Like just
she looked great during the rounds too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And honestly, Tara too in the long jump. I love her. Yeah. She is she's amazing. She's amazing. Yeah. And when what's her name? The trans runner that competed in the 1500 meters. I forget her name.
Non-binary?
I think she's trans and non-binary.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talking about the white woman?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What is her name? Is it Abby?
Don't be looking at me.
Nikki Hiltz.
Nikki.
Yep. Team USA's first openly trans track athlete. She got done doing the preliminaries, and Tara and her came up and dapped up and did their little dance and stuff like that. Yeah. And I was just like,
"That's what we need to see."
Yeah,
that's what
1,000%, 1,000%. So,
and Noah Lyles, that 100 race was fire. Not even gonna lie, he overreacted a lot in the 200. As an asthmatic, I get when you have COVID, that shit sucks. So I will say that, like you already can't breathe, and then you really can't breathe. So that part I believe, because that shit happens to me. You ain't had to be that dramatic at the end, though. You had to be that dramatic at the end. So we'll see. But I mean, for him to get that 100, nobody thought he would ever be able to go step down from the 2 to the 1 to get a gold Olympic medal. So shout out to Noah on that one. But another athlete we really need to talk about is
Chiles.
Her and Imane Khelif, the boxer. So Jordan, what do we think about Jordan?
I'm still livid. I'm still livid about the whole scenario. At the end of the day, they know that her routine was more difficult. And for those of you who do not know, it's not just about sticking your routine. Right. It's about the difficulty of the routine as well too. The higher the degree of difficulty, the higher your score is going to be. And then you do your deductions from there. They gave her a lower start value. So when it came to her score, she couldn't get as many points as she would had they gave her a higher degree of difficulty, which she absolutely deserved. And the 2 girls before her, you can watch. There are clips out there of them, all 4 of their passes. Okay. Yes, a couple stumbles here and there, but Jordan still sticks them harder than the other girls, and the routines themselves are harder than the other girls. At the end of the day, her routine was better, and it should have been like it was going into it. Simone was first, then it was Rebecca, and then it was Jordan Chiles. It went into the final ranked just like that. That's how the podium should have been, which is what we saw. I don't like the idea that they want to argue that it didn't happen within 60 seconds. So what you're telling me is you don't care about how she performed. You care more about the technicality of the rule more than how she actually performed. Because we're not there for the technicality of the rule. We're there to watch them do this floor exercise.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you see it came out today that the commissioner or whatever didn't contact the correct U.S. officials, so that's why they weren't able to give their explanation in an orderly way, and so they think that's part of the miscommunication of it as well, that they sent it to the wrong folks in the first place. So today they're still trying to say, hey, no, y'all didn't do the right thing, like y'all fucked it up. So what's going on? So we'll see what happens on this. But I mean, the sucky part is just like you train all these years to get a medal,
right?
Yeah, and part of it is like Jordan's going to win coming out of this because now people really feel sorry for her. She's going to get probably more opportunities than maybe she would have just simply getting the bronze. So that's a pro that comes out of it. But in her heart of heart, you're an athlete, you're a competitor that's dedicated your first, however old she is, 24 years of your life, to get medals. And so that still sucks, and that's still probably going to eat at her a little bit. But like, damn, like. That's what I wanted. That's why I was all the way coming back from the last Olympics and going to college and coming back out of that and all the hardships I've had to get what I got. And I feel like I'm getting it stripped away. So that stinks. But I feel like Jordan Chiles of now will at least be able to keep her head high and as positive as you could be, out of it. But I hope. I don't know. I feel like sometimes the Olympic committees and stuff like that just be stubborn to be stubborn. So I don't know if there's going to be any positives that come out of it, quite frankly.
Yeah. Well, we've known how they treat our gymnasts, especially our Black women when it comes to gymnastics as well. We've seen them with Simone Biles give her second Biles floor routine a lower degree of difficulty. When we know that triple twisting double back is a lot higher than what they should have given it. A lot higher. A lot higher than that. And the other one that she had that she was going to, well, I think
the one on the bars.
Yeah. No, it's another dismount. I think it's the Biles 2 on the beam. I think there was another one that she was going to do. And they were like, nope, that's too dangerous. Essentially, they said, nope, you can't do that.
And they underscored the Biles 1 on beam, the double twist and double back, because they said it was too dangerous. And so she don't even do it no more. She did it that one time during the competition. She got it named and said, okay, I ain't going to do it no more because y'all going to underscore this. Why am I putting myself in danger? Like, I know how to do it now, but y'all ain't going to give me the scores or put my, increased danger and risk and skill to the test.
Yeah. Well, it's degrees of difficulty. It ain't degrees of easy.
That part.
You know what, Dawon? Say that shit again. I know that's right.
But you know what? I bet you Jordan's like the rest of us. If it was you, wouldn't you be like, go ahead, take this funky ass medal anyway. Go ahead, watch.
I want this
because you know how I don't want this funky ass medal anyway. Look, I know who won that shit. Go ahead. You want this?
You see
go ahead,
bitch. Says he's gonna give her a bronze clock.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I'm like, that's why I fuck with us.
I was like, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh God. So. And then the other big kind of story that came out of the Olympics was the Imane Khelif, and I don't even know where this shit came from. Like, how people just make up shit and it becomes this massive globally is bizarre. Because they're saying, oh, this is why we don't let men play in women's sports. And all this. She's a cisgendered woman. Was born a woman, grew up a woman, her birth certificate, her license is a woman. But people want to say, oh, I think she a man. Like, what the fuck is this? And it got traction. And she still won gold despite the distraction.
That part.
That's a bad
part.
bitch.
That's a bad bitch. That's a bad bitch. Mm-hmm.
So
some
fuck
of the
all
rest of
y'all
y'all
hoes.
some of the rest of them are just some of the rest of y'all are just some regular ass bitches, but that's a bad bitch.
Thank you.
That part.
Like that. Like it broke my heart.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like it had like. The thing is, like, how do you even stick up for yourself? Like, it was a lose-lose situation for anything she would have tried to say. You know, that's the like fucked up part of it. It's just like there was nothing for her to gain out of this at all. Nothing she could say to convince folks either. And she did the right thing and let her hands do the talking. So I wouldn't talk too much because she'll bust you in your fucking mouth. How about that?
Bitch, straight up. Straight up.
Sorry, that was a little heady spirit coming out. Like it broke my heart. So I just hate. I hate people just doing bullshit like that. It pisses me the fuck off. Hey, community. A lot of you have asked how you can support Minority Report outside of the sharing and downloading and subscribing and leaving reviews. But you can also buy merch. Come on, baby.
I know that's right. And we have a whole lot of options, from clothing to pillows to tumblers and bags. And we continue to update all of our stuff with new styles, new colors, and new products. Jarrell, where can they get all that stuff at?
Well, they can get all that and then some at minorityReport.com. They can find all the goodies, find out additional information about your aunties. And we also want to make sure that you share and tag us when you do buy merch, all right? So let us know if it's a hoodie, it's a tee, a long shirt, a towel, because we know you need those. But let us know.
Absolutely. And remember to wash your hands, your legs, and your ass. But earlier, like I was getting, so anything else from Olympics? I guess before we change the topic here.
Next,
did you enjoy more than you thought?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
she watched twice.
2 things. That's
2
it.
things. And
they both had both polls.
They both had polls. Exactly.
And bags.
It honestly delivered way more than what I expected. Like the Olympics is always. I mean, I'm not like super into sports like that, and I know we shared on the podcast before the Olympics started that I was like, I'll like record some stuff and I'll like watch it or whatever. But like I really got into it, and despite all the other things that's going on in the U.S. right now, there's nothing like the Olympics to make you feel a little bit more patriotic. To be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, despite all the other stuff that's going on.
Tom Cruise got that torch passes to LA, and I said, okay, take this shit on down.
Look, red, white, and blue went right back up.
Wrap this shit and toss it away.
Exactly.
And Black Twitter was on it. Black social media was on it. The fucking amount of memes about patriotism during the Olympics and after is so fucking brilliant. The one I saw today, I posted on the stories. They did the exactly. Let me get my pocketbook and go. They did the Hannah Montana way. I was like, I can't fucking stand Black social media, baby. This shit is too funny. But they right though. So the only next time I'm gonna have is a Kamala win.
Yeah, same.
Right. That's it. I'll grab that flag right back for maybe the night. Pack that shit right back up. Let's see here. Oh, I went to the Missy Elliott concert, by the way. That's what I was debating when to say this. So fucking good. Oh, I will get to Sierra, but first Missy. So fucking good. Like,
wait, did you see her at Madison Square, or did you see her in Philly?
In Philly. So okay. Shout out to Chino and Zay. They were there that night too, and exceeded my expectations. And that's already hard for me with Missy, as much as I love Missy. To see someone that's like, I think she's like 53, 54, for this to be her first headlining tour, and the amount of dancing, rapping, and singing she was doing up there, and eating, phenomenal. Then to have 22 fucking dancers all fucking eating, I couldn't take it. I could not take it. And then obviously it's already like the Missy visuals of it all were phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was such a good concert. Started off with Timbaland and all his hits, so the crowd is already all hype and shit like that. Then fucking Sierra. I know we always talk on this podcast about the Sierra and Dawon. Sierra was so fucking good live.
With all of her hits?
All of them. New and old. New And because that's how I am. You know what it is. Like, it was so good. Like, even Corey, because Corey don't even be knowing Sierra like that. He's like, why is Sierra like a superstar? I was like, I don't know. Better than the Rihanna concert I went to. Way better than the Rihanna concert I went to.
Yeah.
I was like, baby, Rihanna live ain't it. I love Rihanna. This ain't bashing Rihanna.
I love Rihanna on the radio.
And in Fenty and lingerie and
all
her business endeavors,
right.
her fashion endeavors, all that.
Right.
But live in concert, she's a little lazy. Sierra put on a motherfucking show and was still giving us all the dance moves and everything. I was like, oh my God, this is phenomenal. Baby. Then it went to motherfucking Busta Rhymes. And Busta shuts it down every fucking time. Oh no, Dawon, don't talk about Sierra.
I got trolled so hard from everybody that I know that went to that goddamn concert, and Sierra came on. Literally, the moment that she came on, my DMs were blowing the fuck up. I'm like, y'all don't leave me the fuck alone with the Sierra bullshit. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
So good. Like, I honestly wish I saw it with you, because I think you would have been like, oh, okay.
Honestly, no lie. Like, all kidding aside, and y'all know I be playing with you know, with Sierra and stuff like that. Just, you know, a little bit. But
I've seen her dance to Sierra.
Can't even get the words out.
Look, because I was trying to say CC, but I was like, saying CC ain't right. But yeah, I've seen her dance to Sierra. And
wait a minute, there is that infamous video from Vegas that somehow made it on the interwebs.
Oh, the one jamming to some damn Sierra.
but low key, I mean, I really wanted to go to that concert.
Yeah,
I'm bummed that I missed out on it. And quite frankly, if there is another iteration as another opportunity, I'll probably end up getting some tickets, because
it was so like it bumped into my top probably 5 of all time concerts.
Yeah,
like it was so fun. We were walking out and this and she kind of presented as like a dyke lesbian, like I was like, yeah, black, and she was just dope. And we're talking on the way getting out of the concert, and we're like, that's a motherfucking show. That's how you put on a motherfucking show. And I was like, I know that's right. Like, we were just hyping each other up, because everyone left out there just like, the chatter was like the most chatter I've heard in a while of a show coming out, because everyone was just like, damn, they were punctual. That shit started right on time at 7. Got us out of there by 11. Hit every damn song you wanted to hear. It was just so well thought out. It was so well executed. I was just like, whoa, I forgot that's how you're supposed to put on a show. Besides Beyonce. Everyone else, you kind of go up there and be like, oh, they mad, I should have done that. It was good, but there was no good but. Like, we were like, whoa. Each one did what needed to be done. Got in, got out, slayed. Next, you up. And then they ended with their songs together. So, like, Missy did all her songs, and then she ended with Lose Control with Sierra. Or no, she started with who came out first? Timbaland. I forget what song they did together. Then brought out Busta. He did it like he saved Touch It, Play It, Lose It, for the format it for the end. And then they went into Lose Control with Sierra. And there we go. End of the concert. Get in, get out, bye. Having a good night. We slayed you.
Damn.
It was insane.
I
was like, damn, I didn't know it was going to be this good. Yeah, it was good. So shout out to them. I was texting Zeno, Che, then Marco, we just went to here in New York or whatever, in Brooklyn or something like that. So I saw all his shit out there. It was good. It was good. But now we're hearing, have you guys heard that there's going to be some new Gaga Bruno Mars collab? She kind of hinted at it today on her social media. Is that a collab that you want to see?
I mean, they both can sing. They both are good songwriters. And they also both have like a very creative style when it comes to their music.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it has the recipe for something good.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid that there are too creative that they might not find something that's cohesive that I'm imagining in my head. If that makes sense. But I am fully prepared to apologize like I did with her and Ariana Grande. Okay? So that is why I'm not saying nothing yet.
Right. She said, I learned.
Okay.
I learned last
I learned.
She said, disclaimer, I'd reserve the right to change my mind in the unfortunate event that I am incorrect in this assumption.
It might take a whole year, but I'll get there, okay?
Right.
All right.
You know, she because she played the little, it sounds like almost maybe the chorus of it on the piano. No words, no nothing. But she sat down with a Bruno Mars t-shirt on. And literally it was like maybe 10 seconds of the chorus. Sounded good. It was almost like a mid-tempo-ish, but poppy enough already that you're like, oh, hold on. They might be able to eat this up. And so she just turned back around, turned off the camera, and you saw the Bruno shirt, and then he posted on his stories. You're like, oh, shit, they coming. They coming. Mm-hmm. And it's been long enough that Bruno's been away long enough that you're like, oh, shit, hold on. And then, you know, we're ready for the next Gaga era. So I'm not mad at it. They're entertainers enough that I think it's going to be good enough that we're like, oh, didn't see it coming, but I'm glad it happened.
I hope so. I feel like I'm still having a hard time. I didn't know about this until, you know, we were prepping to talk about this. And I'm still having a hard time trying to picture what that collab could even sound like. They're just in such different realms of performance and genre and vocal expression, like just completely different. And it's not to say that polar opposites, and I wouldn't even say that they're polar opposites, but they're just different. So I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm hoping for Kombucha Girl right now. You know, like,
Yeah, and by the time this episode comes out, maybe they release it this weekend. I don't know, but I'm intrigued at least. Let's say that, especially for two artists that have been around for a while. They still probably need something to kind of pique that curiosity because it's like after you heard so much music from them, it's like, okay, it's there. I'll check it out maybe. But now I'm like, oh, damn, no, I definitely want to check this out. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Gaga, Bruno, it seems like it's coming on the way.
Yeah.
And do you all want to see that Joker movie, Joker 2?
No, I honestly don't. I really don't. I saw the previews for it and I was like, why did Lady Gaga act the same in all the movies she's ever been in?
She kind of does, don't she? She kind of does.
A little bit.
And I was like, I'm definitely not seeing this in the movies. I'm definitely not seeing this in the movies.
Yeah, Corey's intrigued by it, so I'll probably I won't say get dragged. Like I can take it or leave it. Kind of. That's where I'm at. I think I'm with it. So if he wants to go, I'll go and see it. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix did the damn thing in that first one, so at least I think he's gonna be consistent enough for this one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. One of the things that I'm starting to see in a lot of film lately is things that on the surface might not be like that incredible, but the execution of the cinematic performance is just spectacular. So I mean, the jury's still out, but I can say that at first hearing, I was not really that excited about it, to be honest with you. Yeah. So we'll see.
Did y'all see Deadpool Wolverine?
Bitch, it was so good.
It was amazing.
It was so good. The way that I gooped and gagged several times. I was like,
Same.
It's so
and then I gooped and gagged.
When the hall pass came, I was like,
oh. I was like, that's just a man, Maury. Just a whole ass man, Maury. I love you, Henry Cavill. Oh, spoiler alert, by the way, if y'all ain't seen it by now. But I mean
you 3
by
weeks
the money it's made,
week, so
right, and by the amount of money it's made, the whole world has seen it by this point. Shit.
That's a movie I could probably watch a couple of times, to be honest with you.
I've seen it twice. Yeah, I've seen it twice already.
I'll see it. I'll see it again, but I won't see it in a theater. I'll see it when it's streaming.
Yeah, I've seen it twice in the theater.
See it in the theater again.
Yeah, like that last scene, like the last kind of like 45 minutes of the movie. I really enjoyed seeing it at the theater. Like when they get rescued after that fight scene. When that fight scene in the car, I fucking loved. That was so good. That was so good. It was filmed perfectly.
Yeah.
The commentary of it was fantastic. Like, I liked it.
It felt like a cartoon fight scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like very few of all them, out of like the 9 billion Marvel movies we've gotten, very few of them have hit like the cartoons hit. Like, and I get it, there's just limitations, just human, or even CG for it, or whatever. That one felt like, oh shit, I like would have seen this in a cartoon and would have thought this was just so fire, you know? And that's what it felt to me. It was
Jackman.
Hey, that man look good, don't he? That man look good.
Been looking, always looking, will always be looking good.
I had kind of forgot.
Yeah. No,
when that shirt was off, I was like,
honey.
I was like,
count them.
I was like, damn, you.
Girl.
Shit, Andy's single now.
Yeah.
Come on, you.
I was glad, low key. I was glad to see, not even low key, like high key. I was glad to see Wesley Snipes.
That
Set me over the edge. I was just like, on top of everything else, y'all bringing back the old heads. Like this movie was a 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10 on every single level.
Yeah.
It made you enjoy the theater. Like, I feel like there's, again, been very few movies that just make you enjoy the theater lately.
Yes.
That one reminds you why you go to the movies to see a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was a good-ass movie.
That was a
good
good
ass.
movie.
The spectacle of it, the humor of it, the raunchiness of it. I love seeing a Disney movie with blood. Because I think this might be the first Disney movie with blood.
and the fact that it was again, like, this is like one of the things I really appreciate about the Deadpool series is it's so meta. It's so aware of itself, and it breaks the fourth wall all the time. And like
especially clowning Fox.
Like, did you see the Fox the Fox sign just in, like in the wasteland? Like, I was just like this.
Kudos to Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Kudos to him. Like, his thought process and fighting for that character like this.
Yeah.
Dope to him. So So community, if you haven't seen it, go see it.
Please do.
Sorry for all the spoilers, but it is what it is.
They're everywhere now. You know exactly who's been in the movie now. Yep. You know exactly who's been on the movie now. So.
And honestly, everything that we talked about really doesn't have anything to do with the plot of the movie.
No.
To be honest,
we haven't talked about the plot at all.
We haven't talked about the plot one bit.
Nope.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. I know I got spoiled the night before I went to see it because they had San Diego Comic-Con, and I was scrolling to Instagram, and I was like, "Wow, all these actors on the stage," and it was like the surprise of this.
Okay.
I was like, "Fuck, that got something to do with the movie now."
Yeah.
So, damn it, I didn't know how it was going to come play, so I'm glad how it came to be didn't get spoiled. I'm like, damn it, I done made it all this close to the night before going to see this damn movie, and that spoiled it, just randomly scrolling.
That's why I always go Thursday. I always go Thursday now because I follow too many people to not be spoiled at this point. I follow way too many things right now. So I'm like, nope, I have to go Thursday. Otherwise, it's going to be spoiled to me Thursday night before I even go to fucking bed. So
yeah, because we went that Sunday, and I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how I made the last 3 days without it. And the motherfucking night before.
Honestly, I have kind of a rule that I will only go see movies, especially in the theater, within the first 3 weeks. Because and ideally it's within the first week, because by the time you get to the second week, they start releasing more commercials that actually show more of the plot of the movie. And these commercials be so goddamn long. Like, these previews be like 5-10 minutes long, and they show you every goddamn thing. Like, you literally watch the movie before the movie even come out. And it's like, So like,
they did a good job of not spoiling anything in any of the trailers. I don't know how they did that.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds was even saying in his interviews with him and Hugh Jackman, he was like, honestly, I'm surprised that none of this stuff has leaked, because you didn't know about any of these cameos.
Not
any of these cameos. And there were several. Not two, not three, not five.
Not 4.
A gazillion.
Girl.
Right.
There was a lot.
Yeah. Especially for the amount of people that work on a movie.
Right.
That part.
Right.
Like, the editor didn't say shit.
Somebody
the
must have been
musicians
working
didn't
with
say
Beyonce's
shit.
lawyers. This shit was tight-lipped.
It was, especially in a Marvel universe where everybody finds shit out all the damn time, leaking scripts and all that shit.
Yep.
I don't know how they did this one. Especially with the strike in between there. They was working on shit pre and post the strike.
Yeah.
So someone could have been petty saying, fuck this shit. Like, nobody did.
Ryan Reynolds has said in an interview, because again, you know, like I love comics, so everything Marvel, DC, I'm always watching, I'm always paying attention to, and I love watching interviews. And he was saying that at one point the idea for the movie was to call it something completely else, and then people would show up to the movie, and then boom, it would be the Deadpool movie.
Yeah, that would be fine to try to implement.
That would. I was like, that's actually kind of fucking dope. Like that's kind of dope.
Yeah,
but
real quick, I just want to send a shout out to our girl Lux Noir London for her dropping her single "Worship."
Yes,
she teased it on our podcast a couple of weeks ago. The album came out. The single came out, it just slaps. It's so good.
And I'm gonna make sure I ain't just a drag girl doing music. I'm a music girl doing drag.
She's an artiste. It's phenomenal. So proud of you, Boo. You did the damn thing. The song is amazing, and we just want to give you your flowers.
Yes.
I agree. And I guess we'll just end it there. Anything else on your hearts and minds?
That's it for me.
Hey.
Love y'all. Let's do it.
Love y'all too. That's right. In community, we love you as well. Thanks for rocking with us. Until next week, wash your hands, your legs, and your ass. See you then. Mwah!
Bye, y'all.
And my voice held out. Yay.
It sure did.
Not a crack in sight. I was waiting. I was like,
it's trying, but I'm like, it's there.